one is the Far Out event. They are sharing what is on their website as far as their partnership with Mojave Air and Spaceport, acknowledging the great relationship between the two of us and their event upcoming at the end of this month. The second one is the Mojave CHP Volunteer is running their gun raffle, which will, all of the funds that they raise will go to purchase toys for the Chips for Kids. So they're getting an early start. You can use the QR code if you want to do that, or I also have some tickets here in the office if anybody is interested. And then they did say that if you actually win one of the guns and don't like it, they will apply that value towards a gun of your pick at Carl's Hardware. All right, so that's it.
Good deal. Thank you. Any other community announcements? Seeing none, we'll move on to item 3, consent agenda. Any public comment on the consent agenda? Any board comment?
Motion to approve consent agenda items A and B. One motion.
Moved by Mr. Allred or Mr. Valentine. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Krokel. Are there any directors against this motion? Seeing none, motion passes 5-0. There are no action items today. We'll move on to section 5, reports, Director of Public Safety and Security.
All right, good afternoon, members of the board. Today I'm going to be providing you a brief overview of the Kern County Multi-Jurisdictional Hazard Mitigation Plan update for 2026. This is an informational item and keep it pretty high level as a presentation itself. Walks through the details, which you'll see on screen and also in your board packet. This is the first decision maker briefing for this update. The effort is countywide. Multi-agency collaboration focused on identifying hazards, assessing risk, and developing strategies to reduce long-term impacts. Okay. At its core, hazard mitigation is about reducing risk before disaster happens, not response. It's long-term planning to protect people, property, and operations. The goal is to break the cycle of damage, rebuild, and repeat. Instead of reacting after an event, mitigation focuses on reducing impacts ahead of time and building back stronger. The current plan expired April of this year, so this update is required to maintain compliance and funding eligibility. The cycle expands participation and updates both the risk assessment and mitigation strategies using improved tools and broader stakeholder input. Kern County, over the last years, has experienced over 40 disaster declarations since 1967. That history reinforces the need for a proactive and coordinated approach for hazard mitigation. Beyond frequency, disasters are becoming more expensive nationwide. Mitigation planning helps reduce those long-term costs by addressing vulnerabilities before events occur. They also directly tie to life safety. Reducing exposure and improving resilience ultimately protects people across the county. This effort helps raise awareness, reduce risk, guide safer development, and integrate mitigation into both daily operations and long-term planning. And one key takeaway is mitigation works. On average, every dollar invested saves about $6 in future losses. It's a pretty significant return, both financially and operationally. This update ensures continued eligibility for state and federal funding, identifies evolving risk, and develops actionable strategies moving forward. This is the project website. where stakeholders and the public can access information and provide input throughout the process. And the project follows a structured timeline, moving from risk assessment to mitigation strategy development, and ultimately to adoption and FEMA approval. So currently we are at the risk assessment portion of this project, and we'll be coming back to the board early next year, January, February timeline to adopt the plan. A major component of this update is engagement, working with jurisdictions, stakeholders, and the public to identify risks and shape mitigation strategies. This includes in-person outreach and events to increase participation and awareness across the country. Initial results show the top hazards identified so far include extreme heat, drought, and wildfire, followed by severe weather, earthquake, and flooding. These align closely with what we experience regionally. Okay, this slide shows the previously identified priority hazards from the 2020 plan. And this reflects the updated draft priorities for 2026, incorporating new data and stakeholder input. So our goals, this plan is guided by 4 primary goals: protecting people, safeguarding property and the environment, strengthening infrastructure and services, and enhancing collaboration across jurisdictions. Participation ensures our unique operational risks are represented at the county level and position us for future funding opportunities tied to mitigation projects. That concludes my overview. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Are the wind farms involved in this?
I don't recall them being on the list.
And the reason I ask, I lived on the west side of the town. The wind farms are on the west side of the town. Over the years, numerous fires of turbines.
Sure.
I'm downwind, the town's downwind, the community's downwind.
Mm-hmm.
You got a plan?
I would hope, and we can definitely discuss it in future meetings, that would be addressed in the county's portion of it.
Sure.
But definitely take that
I mean,
to them.
there's nothing but stuff to burn between my house and them.
Right. And then also, if you go back to the website here, the mitigatehazards.com, there's a questionnaire in there that we're actually asking the public to fill out, and that could be one of the things that you could mention in there. But I will make note of it and take it to one of our next meetings.
Yeah, thank you. It's too late when it happens.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then with the wind blowing and.
Yeah, I mean, every year and they're permitted by the county. They get tax revenue from the county.
Absolutely.
I'd like to sleep a little more comfortable. Every time I look up there and see smoke, it's like, uh-oh.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Understood. Any
That's
other
my
questions?
personal opinion on that. But obviously, if my neighbor's house is burned or something like that.
Yeah. And Floyd is also working on this with me.
Participation in the plan is for public agencies, so the private wind farms would not necessarily be involved. That would be the Kern County that would oversee that.
Okay, well.
So board members, if I may, I'd like to just brag on Floyd and Chris for their work here. It's important to us to be in front of these things, not reactive to these things. And having our teammates being in front of this sets a standard that I think is laudable. And as we move forward on a smaller scale with a much more robust local exercise program for our unique capabilities at Mojave, that'll once again set conditions for us to be ready for anything that Red Book might ever present to us. And that's in close alignment with ops. Over.
Sounds good.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Move on to item B, the CEO report. Dr. Smith, you're on.
Yes, Roger, and I apologize for being away. I've been at the AAAE conference in Los Angeles. Unfortunately, I'm being called away tonight to a family emergency back east, so I'll be out of the office for a few days, but I have nothing but blessed with a great team that'll hold standards while I'm a little indisposed. So we did a pretty cool thing at Edwards Air Force Base. Mojave directly supported this, principally with Jason and his teams from our IT side and some of our equipment. Imagine on the golf course at night, a whole bunch of golf carts lined up like an old style drive-in theater. And then families from all over the base come out for a free hot dog, a bag of popcorn, a soda pop or a iced tea, and they watch Lilo and Stitch. And it was just a beautiful movie, although it a little bit cold. But the multiple commanders that were there all took time to seek me out, and just thanks so much the close working relationship we have with Mojave, Edwards, and the Air and Space Force Association. And those kinds of relationships will keep robust for a long time. Things like our integration in the 2508, 2515 complex. So I believe very strongly building relationships is important, as we did at the ITEA workshop, where we had 2 panels represented there, as well as a display table that ITEA extended to us as a courtesy, so a little fiscal benefit there. They were absolutely impressed that the table from Mojave was the best one at the Tuscany Inn and Suites in Las Vegas. Again, I mentioned the AAAE conference, some great robust contacts there, considerable follow-up with Mead and Hunt, in particular on recent expanding FAA grants. It appears the FAA has found some money and they'd like to figure out if we can spend it, and I think we can. We did a podcast reporting representing myself and Mojave Air and Spaceport, and that's supposedly going to go live this week, and there'll be more to follow on location, etc. Had an opportunity to attend a very unique counter drone webinar using computer-based technologies, IT technologies, rather than kinetic kills as far as counter drone work. That was pretty fascinating. We don't have an intrusive drone problem right now, but very much as Chris briefed, we want to be ahead of this and not reacting to it. So understanding and sampling the different technologies out there bring value to what we do. Straddle Launch had, as they always do, knock it out of the park on a wonderful family day. Denise and I had the rare opportunity to be there along with many, many others of our teammates from Mojave Air and Spaceport, just furthering that rock solid relationship with our mission partners. Current EDC board meeting will come up Thursday this week, and that will be a unique opportunity to chat further about what we do, presenting a panel that is going to be looking specifically at the aerospace industry across the aerospace valley, its history, where it stands today, the unique infrastructure needs we have, housing, schools, utilities, etc., that all are essential to this expanding ecosystem called aerospace. Fun presentation at Roseman Historical Society. Great group of people there that were just totally receptive to the Mojave mission that I was really honored to be able to share with them. Project Ellie is very unique. That is a project that came to us through the Governor's Office of Business Development, Go Biz. And they had us answer a RFI, request for information, regarding a company that is looking at 2 various associated business enterprises, about a $200 million development, and what is the right place for them to have this opportunity. We believe Mojave is the right place for both their aviation-focused UAS complex, as well as their traditional manufacturing complex supporting that UAS industry. Just prior to heading out to the ITEA workshop, We had the Aerospace Defense Convening Workshop here. That's a quarterly workshop done by the Griffiths Institute at Mojave. And it's, again, an absolutely stalwart and remarkable opportunity to get representatives from all across the entire aerospace ecosystem, from CTE programs to training programs to higher bandwidth education programs for engineers to ABET accrediting to manufacturers and production agencies to the major corporations, mission partners in the area. So although Ariel did the lion's share of the work on that as I was heading off to ITEA, it was again a robust capability at Mojave. So a lot of exciting things went on. I apologize that I'll be out of the office for a few days, but subject to your questions, that concludes my report.
Thank you, sir. Any board questions?
It's ITEA, not IKEA.
Correct, ITEA.
Thank you, Dr. Smith. We have no board committees that I know of. Director's comments not on the agenda.
I have something. Plain Crazy Saturday will be held on May 16th. And our speaker is Todd Schultz, who is going to talk about the Vultee BT-13. He says it's fun to fly. I've heard a lot of stories about this particular airplane. Was a basic trainer in World War II. And they called it the Vultee vibrator. And I'm not sure why. I've never flown in it, but I'm gonna check with Todd to see if I can fly with him. But it's a pretty thing. But he says it's really fun. So he's gonna talk about the history and how he acquired this BT-13. And that's May 16th, right here in the boardroom at 11 a.m. And if you want to make reservations, just go to info@mojavemuseum.org and make a reservation because seating is limited. But thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Hanson. Any other director comments? Seeing none, we'll move into closed session. Thank you, everybody.